the whole issue of fungibility is an enormous consequence for the crypto world because there are so many outside factors that can come into play when it comes to coins that have a public ledger. So the public blockchain itself can be found out, dissected, analyzed by forensic blockchain professionals. And for that reason, a lot of these bigger coins are looking for ways to obfuscate and hide when they do a private transaction, right? So you have Dash that has the ability to mix the coins that are sent through it so you can conceal who you're sending it to, but really it's more for if you're doing a transaction with someone, do you really want them to know exactly how much you have in your account and how much in the way of resources you have left if you're negotiating with them? Or information really is power, so completely giving that information away for free is not necessarily something that you might want to do if you have a lot of transactions in the crypto business world. So I was at a conference, CIS Los Angeles, Crypto Investing Summit, and I asked Charlie Lee this on the issue of fungibility.
Hey, Charlie. Just wondering what your thoughts were on the future of public blockchain coins. I know that here in the United States that some exchanges will actually comb your history to make sure you don't have any terms or conditions violations. And then I'm a big user of the Coinbase Earn airdrops, and they highlight a lot of the new coins that are coming out that actually do offer a good degree of privacy. So I wonder what your thoughts are on that.
Earlier in the evening, he did briefly reiterate some of the points that he made in some of his earlier tweets about fungibility and how it is important and how Litecoin can be a part of that process and still be a leader in that area. So uh, this is what he's saying here to kind of reflect back upon that in his answer.
Um, I think I talked about it, right? I think privacy and fungibility is very important. So I think financial privacy is important. So it's not cool that people know like how many coins you have just because you sent them something. Um, so yeah, I think we should work on making coins more private and more fungible.
More and more fungibility is a key concern for a lot of these blockchain programs, and I think is one of the reasons why Monero and companies that make an emphasis on investing in blockchain programs that provide them the type of protection from corporate espionage that they're looking for have been so successful. So when you have something like Monero that is virtually undetectable, that's very attractive, yes, to corporations that want to keep what they're doing as part of their intellectual property. But at the same time, it is very, very appealing as well to hackers that are doing nefarious things on the web and want that to be concealed as much as possible. So they're already doing double jump IPs and they're trying to conceal themselves as much as possible. So why not go after a crypto that has all of the technical wherewithal to make that happen as well? So the story about Litecoin is that even though it's kind of fallen by the wayside to be the sixth biggest coin, it still is enormously powerful and within the crypto space has an enormously influential leader in Charlie Lee. And a lot of people forget it from their investment portfolio, right? And I've seen more than anything else within that space, you're seeing Litecoin being incorporated into use through getting money off of exchanges. So you'll see that some exchanges will charge, depending on how much it costs to get a transaction through in the first next couple blocks of blockchain for Bitcoin, charging many dollars to get their Bitcoin off of an exchange. However, you can get it off with Litecoin at a much less expensive rate. And there are many benefits to Litecoin that the community sees, and I see going to conferences that are crypto specific, specifically by the foundation. I did identify that the foundation itself and the people that are operating the booths there are extremely competent and are really sharp about the whole world of crypto. When I went by the booth, I got in a conversation with one of the people that were there, and I was so impressed with the caliber of people that were there that I actually bought a shirt. And I can just say that the Litecoin representatives that I met and that I see on the Reddit forums and various places have to be some of the sharpest in the space. So I think that people use Litecoin to get their coins off of exchanges and are impressed with the technology and then gravitate to projects that are Litecoin specific and that are adaptive of the technology. So the whole issue of fungibility that's out there, I think Charlie Lee is aggressively addressing through his speech at the conference, through the fireside chat that he did as kind of the keynote for the Crypto Investing Summit. But he specifically addresses that with the technology that's behind the public ledger, it's fairly well found out through forensic blockchain searching and just diving through a few YouTube instructionals about how the whole process works of sending from one blockchain wallet to another. And you can find out who that is. And although you can't find out where they are, you can find out still a good amount of information from that address itself. So the whole issue of fungibility, which a lot of people really don't take a deep dive into, and that Charlie Lee explains very well and has several good quotes on, is that if you send your coin to get mixed, let's say from a dark web, a mixer, or you're looking to mix it somehow, and or even exchange it for Litecoin to Bitcoin or Litecoin to Monero or whatever, from a wallet that is identified as being suspicious or involved in illegal activity, then the coins that you get are going to be devalued by certain communities and will be kind of hot in a sense. So the fungibility of those coins is going to be compromised. So the value of them is going to be much lower than, let's say, something that was just mined from the blockchain. You will see people that will use the tainted coins that they have. They're no longer fungible because people don't really want to touch them with a 10-foot pole, and will invest them in mining capacity so that there's a clean cut between the crypto that they do have and the crypto that they get. So difficult when you're mining a block to connect those if you're paying for hashing power. And the whole issue of fungibility can be averted if they do what Charlie Lee was talking about they're going to do in 2019 and incorporate a privacy feature that will like turn on and off, probably for an additional fee, where you can send someone a private transaction a la Monero or some of the currencies that incorporate that technology, Stellar and 0x, and all the new ones that I've been hearing about and engaging with through the Coinbase Earn. I mean, Charlie Lee worked at Coinbase for a number of years, so he understands that, at least in North America, the tax regulators have access to that information, and if they can see that someone has no Bitcoin information on their tax returns, and yet somehow they can connect a name to several Bitcoin going back and forth, then they will move upon that. And it's difficult because there are wash sales and there is a lot of trading being done, and it's very hard to calculate for IRS purposes and income reporting purposes, but it only creates problems by being connected to a lot of these wallets. And if you use Coinbase, you live in North America, certain parts of North America, you will know that if you send coins to certain sports books or race books or things that Coinbase identifies as being terms and conditions violators, then you will get a notification in the form of your account either getting shut down or the transaction being halted before it reaches its destination. So in order to provide, or if it provides a privacy feature, then all of that will be averted. So you will see that on the Ethereum blockchain that they do have like non-fungible tokens, the 721 ERC tokens. And of course the ERC 721s are non-fungible. I mean, there are tokens that are mostly CryptoKitties and types of tokens that are doing very well on OpenSea.io and exchanges that'll sell these horses or the CryptoKitties and these things that go through waves in terms of their popularity and what they can earn from selling them. And they have a number of interesting 721 tokens, but that's on the back of Ethereum. And for Litecoin to focus on keeping everything fungible and providing privacy features, I really feel like the combination of Charlie Lee as the evangelist and the good team that's behind the foundation and the technology that's continuing to evolve and everything moving forward with keeping the stability of the cost to push a transaction quickly through the blockchain equals a coin that's definitely good to look at and averts many of the problems that you'll see with Ethereum and Bitcoin because of the cost of a transaction, won't be multiple dollars like Bitcoin is, or what Ethereum is during peak hours to interact with a smart contract. So certainly it's different than a lot of these big projects, despite the fact that it's a top 10 coin, sometimes a top 5 coin, depending on how the prices are looking on a particular exchange during a particular day. But something to consider, that Litecoin, very promising coin, it's been around forever, but something to consider if you're looking to supercharge your portfolio.